Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Idea Gen Global Podcast with George Sifakis.
I'm George Sifakis. In a world overflowing with noise, there is one forum where the world's smartest voices connect, where visionaries sit at the same table as innovators, and great minds don't just talk, they act.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Sunday morning. With us today is Christine Hanlon from the great state of New Jersey, and she is the new chairwoman of New Jersey Republican Party. And also in Monmouth County, she is the county clerk and the co-chair of the Monmouth County Republican Organization. You got a lot of jobs, Christine.
Yes, a lot of responsibilities, but I'm excited about all of them, and, we just march forward.
Tell us, you have a new year. You had a governor just get sworn in the last few days, and were you surprised at the results? Because everybody thought it was such a close race, and it didn't turn out to be a close race. Has the Republican Party analyzed it yet?
You know what? That is something that everyone's looking into. You're right. Everyone thought it was going to be a close race, I think, on both sides of the aisle. And the results were pretty surprising, I think, to everyone in terms of the spread. We're looking back, trying to figure out what happened. In New Jersey, Republicans are outnumbered by about 800,000 voters in terms of registrations. These things factor in. A lot of Democrats are signed up to vote by mail. So going into Election Day, it's not surprising. We definitely have our challenges, but it was really shocking, I would say, to our party, going into Election Day.
I mean, I thought it was a close race. Let me ask you,
Yep.
In the analysis, is it state issues, federal issues? What do people get riled up on?
You know what? I think that, we haven't gotten all the data back. People are looking into it right now. I think most people agree that, the shutdown had quite a bit to do with the motivation in terms of voter turnout. That was not great timing with respect to our election here in New Jersey. So I think that there were issues like that really came into play, and it was like a motivating factor for Democrats to be going out to vote in the gubernatorial election.
Understood. And was there any counties that really surprised you?
I think people were surprised, across the board in certain counties where, Republicans lost ground. We lost some assembly seats, and we lost some county seats. I will say in Monmouth County, we did very well. I was actually on the ballot myself this past year with my strong team of county leaders. And, we didn't really have the impact that there was in other parts of the state. So I guess that was a little bit surprising because we didn't feel that same, sentiments that were going on in the rest of the state. So I think that was a little bit surprising for us and for others that in Monmouth we held strong. No, there was a few counties in the state that, were pretty strong as well. So the surprises, I would say that in some counties, the Republicans lost a little bit of ground, and that was very upsetting.
Now, there's been several stories, the Democratic machines in this county and Democratic machines in that county. I mean, isn't that the days of the past? I mean, is that still going on?
It depends on what you mean by that. I mean, they're, politics, Democrats have a strong machine in some counties and Republicans have a strong machine in some counties. So I guess it depends on what the definition of that.
Well, I mean, it's when I talked to Chairman Gruder from the National Republican Committee, and I said the number one item is to make sure there's no more voter fraud or there's no more sending out in a county with 500,000 people sending out 1 million ballots. I mean, have you had any problems with absentee ballots or anything like that?
In last year's election.
Yeah, last year's.
From time to time, as an election official, from time to time, we've had issues here and there, isolated issues. But I wouldn't say I've seen, ballots being sent out that are in like those high numbers over the registration numbers. But if you're talking about a machine, the Democratic Party in New Jersey and in other states have really made a big effort in getting people on the vote by mail list and put a large investment of money every year into getting more and more voters onto the mail-in ballot list. And what happens is, going into election, when Republicans don't have the registrations that the Democrats do, we're going into an election, at a disadvantage because a lot of ballots have already come in from the other side of the aisle. And going into Election Day, I think, if I recall correctly, it was like about 300,000, advantage going into Election Day in the early voting. So that is, part of how the Democratic Party gets their voters out. And it's very challenging for Republicans in New Jersey because a lot of Republicans don't necessarily like to vote by mail. So you're missing out on some of those voters who might not be paying attention to a particular election and they don't go out to vote and they're not voting by mail. So we really do have our challenges that we have to really work on. It's like a structural deficit that is very important for us to be looking at.
Well, thank you so much for calling in today, and we look to talking to you about more often. We should keep all our audience informed about what the heck is going on.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? We're just going to be working hard. Glad to have taken over as chair and working on all of these issues to build the Republican Party in New Jersey. So glad to be talking to you.
Thank you so much, and we'll catch up again real soon. Thank you.
Yes, awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.